Okay, this video lesson is from section 7.7. There's two or three concepts put into 7.7. The first one was over work, the second one was over distance, rate, time, and the third one is over proportions. I find through my experience that it's the second piece of content, the distance, rate, time problems, is what the students have the most trouble with. So that's the one that I'm going to do a video lecture over. So if you read here, here is the problem. This actually is the actual problem. It comes from your textbook. It's one of the even numbered problems. Tori and Emilio's motorboats travel at the same speed. Tori pilots her boat 40 kilometers before docking. Emilio continues for another 2 hours, traveling a total of 100 kilometers before docking. How long did it take Tori to navigate the 40 kilometers? I think the best way to do this is to set it up as a table. The important concept is distance is always equal to rate times time. Always. Okay. Uh, and so what we're going to do is we're going to make a distance column, a rate column, and a time column. Why do we have two rows? Because we're talking about two different things. We are talking about Tori, and we are talking about Emilio. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have, this is going to be Tori here, and this is going to be Emilio, if I can write this. There. Okay, and now let's just fill in the information in. If we know it, put it in. If we don't know it, put it in as a variable. That's fine. So for Tori, how far distance did Tori go? Tori pilots her boat 40 kilometers. So she goes 40. Okay. Emilio continues another 2 hours. Okay, traveling at 100 kilometers. So Emilio went 100. Now, nowhere in here do they tell you how fast their motorboats were going. But one thing they do tell you is that they are traveling at the same speed. So since we don't know, we can just put R for Tori's rate. And since they're the same, we can put R for Emilio's rate. Okay, since they are the same, we could use the same variable. Now, we also don't know how long it took them. In fact, that's what they're actually asking. How long did it take Tori to navigate those 40 kilometers? Okay, so we don't know Tori's time, t. That's what we're solving for. Okay, but we do know this, that Emilio continued another 2 hours after Tori stopped. So Emilio took all of Tori's time, which is t, and then he went on for another 2 hours. So that's t plus 2. Okay. So for example, if Tori rode her motorboat 3.5 hours, that means Emilio rode his for 5.5 hours, 2 more than Tori's. So Tori's is t, Emilio's is t plus 2. Now we're going to use the equation distance equals rate times time. t equals RT, and we're going to put it for both of them. So we have 40 equals RT, 40 equals RT, and then we're going to do the second one. 100 equals R times T plus 2. And those are our two setups. Okay. Now, how do we solve this? Well, first of all, we have two variables. You can't solve this because there's two unknowns. You can't solve this because there's two unknowns. But we do know this. We want to know what T is. This is the one we want to know. We want to know what T is right here. Okay, so what we can do is we can put this all in terms of T. If 40 equals R times T, if we divide by T, we know that 40 divided by T, these will cancel, is equal to R. And this is what we call substitution. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 40 over T, since this is R, and we're going to put it right there. So this means that 100 is equal to 40 over T times T plus 2. And now we're going to solve. So this means 100 is equal to, we distribute, if I can draw good arrows, which I can't, we have 40 over T times T plus 80 over T Okay, so now we have 100 equals 40 times t over t plus 80 over t. Now notice here that this t and this t will cancel. So what this gives us is, back to the black pen, 100 is equal to 40 plus 80 over t. And now we have to solve for t. Now, we learned, of course, well, actually, let's do it this way. So let's subtract 40 from both sides. Okay, and then, of course, these will cancel. And you're left with 60 equals 80 over t. And of course, we can put this over 1 if we wish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. So 60 times t is equal to 80. Divide by 60. So these cancel. Reduce. And t, I do believe, is 4/3 hours. And that actually answers the question. How long did it take Tori to navigate? Tori is t, 4/3 hour. Now, if they ask for how long it took Emilio, you have to add 2 to 4/3. And that's an example of using the distance rate time problems from section 7.7. Again, I think it is very important to make the table. I think the table is extremely important so you can set up your two distance rate time equations. Okay, thank you very much.